I looked like a mad woman. It was a beautiful day to be alive. I have to craft again. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Krista's Curated Life. I am Krista, and I am a part-time reseller on websites like Poshmark, eBay, Depop, and Mercari. I'm going to do kind of a new video for me today. I'm going to do a what sold and a ship with me combo of some things that came in over the weekend. So this will be covering March 30th through April 5th. Today is the 6th, so there'll be like one or two sales that came from today in the ship with me portion. I did do a ship with me on the 31st, so I'm not including all the sales that I shipped out from that day. And so there's just kind of a breakdown between the two. But anyway, this week I had a pretty big week. Honestly, I think this would probably be one of my peak weeks for how much I did sell. I decided to promote all my listings on eBay, and I pushed a ton of inventory because of it. I forgot, was it Kaylee Aline? I was watching one of her videos, and it was something like you can set a percentage of what you want it to be promoted at, and then eBay can choose to go like, you can do like a variable rate on top of that. So if I say I want to promote at 5% and I want to do a 2% variable, it can go up to 7% or 3%, depending on what they deem the need is. So anyway, my total revenue this week is $1,051. My profit is $596. I sold 38 items with an average ASP of $27.67. I've said it before in previous videos, that ASP does include shipping on eBay. So it's a little bit lower than that. But let's get on into it. So on the first, I sold these buckle Eden men's jeans. They're 27, which I'd never seen in a men's jean before. It was a pretty small size at first. I thought these were women's. They sold for $22 on Poshmark, and I got them at the bin. So I took home $15.60. And I had that one listed for like 3 days. Next up, we have these, is it Joie? I don't know how to say, so I don't like selling Jawad. This was purely a style-based pickup. I'm surprised it sold on eBay. I really thought this was going to go on Poshmark or Depop. But anyway, these are cargo pants, but they're 100% silk. They're so beautiful, so beautiful. Not my style at all, but I can totally see someone rocking them. I sold them on eBay for $41.18, and I took home $28.48. I had those listed for like a month and a half. So those didn't take long either, but those were like Y2K. They were elevated. Oh, they're going to look so cool on someone. Next up on the first, again, I have the sale on eBay. It's a Honey Love silhouette bra. This bra specifically sells incredibly well. Anytime you see it, pick it up. Well, unless it's in bad quality. I want to say I had this listed for like $28. It sold for my full asking price. Keep in mind, this is a used bra. A used bra. I sold it for $34.15 and I took home $22.89. I had it listed for about a week. Fantastic. Next, I actually sold the last of this one batch of Kendra Scott earrings. These are the Abalone. I hope that's how you pronounce it. These are the small earrings. I had these in 3 different sizes. I sold it twice again in the same day, which is bananas, to 2 different people. I think I shipped this, did these in my ship with me possibly. I sold both of them on eBay. For one of them, I took home $9.20. The other one, I took home $6.19. I had 4 of these. They're all gone now. So I'm kind of sad to see my Kendra Scott sales are just going to be gone because I have like 5 different types left. And I listed those just after Christmas. Next, on the first, we have another eBay sale. You can tell when I started to promote my closet because these are all, I think I promoted it on the 31st or the 30th. And I had a ton of sales on the first. So this is a Baby Dior shirt bundle. I've actually had this for a long time. I've had these since last July. And I had my cost of goods as $2 a piece because I got them at the bins. Obviously, I did not pay that much because these are small. I had a very disgruntled return on Poshmark. I'd sold these on Poshmark once before. And and part of this is my fault. It had really small, like teeny tiny staining on it. And the person that bought on Poshmark was like livid because I didn't disclose the stains. And when I tell you, they were so hard to see, they were so hard to see in some parts. And it was totally a mistake on my part. If you open a case on Poshmark, most of the time I'm going to accept that you're right because as a reseller, we just miss things. And it can be really frustrating. I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to, I want that done to me either. But this person was so angry, so they shipped it back. And I sold on eBay and I made $14.24. Not mad. Another bra sale. So I just have so many. Another sale on the first. This is on eBay. This is a Third Love 24/7 lace contour plunge bra. I want to say this one didn't have a great sell-through rate, and I had it for just over a month. It sold for $18.14 plus shipping. I took home $8.63. Still on the first, we have this Anthropologie cropped blouse. I got this at the bins. I tried it on. It just wasn't quite me. This is like perfect for the season. I added the keyword cottagecore. It was very delicate. Really liked it. This sold for my full asking price of $22. So I ended up taking home $14.99, and I had this one listed for like 2 days. I just love 100% sell-through rate items or pricing them so they move quickly. That's just my style. It's just my style. Up next on Poshmark, this is our first sale on the 2nd. This is Universal Standard women's pants. These were really interesting, to say the least. The texture was kind of odd, but they're a beautiful trouser. If you didn't know, Universal Standard, they're a very expensive brand, but they do vanity sizing. So these say extra small, but they're actually a size like 10 or 12. So I've had these. I listed them on the 10th of January. Sold them on the 2nd for $25. I took home $18. I used to always consign Universal Standard, and even if it doesn't have a great sell-through rate, because most people are listing it so high, I can list it lower. It still sells decently for me. So I was going to consign these, and I'm glad I didn't because I got $18. Then again, I don't know what turnstile would have marked them. So maybe I would have made decent money there too. Another sale on the 2nd is this Lululemon's Metal Vent Tech polo shirt. This was a size large. Men's Lululemon sells better than women's Lululemon for me. I listed this at the end of February. I sold it a second for $19, and I took home $13.20. Next on the 2nd, we had our first Depop sale for the week, and it's kind of wild because I had 2 Depop sales this week. This is not a substantial sale, but I knew it would sell and I would consign it if it didn't. This is an Abercrombie & Fitch just sweetheart neckline tank top. It's a trendy style. They sold it. This was like last season or the season before. I sold it for $15, which isn't very much, but eBay has really low fees. I think I may have promoted this one. I want to say Depop went down to no fees, and so I started promoting listings. I don't know how they do that, but anyway, I took home $11.82. And I had that one listed in January, so that wasn't that long either. Next, we have these Free People women's penny pull-on flare jeans. These are so trendy, so cute. They sold on the 2nd on Poshmark for $32, and I took home $22. These were listed for about a week too. What's so stylish about these? So 70s and 80s are starting to trend again. They're Free People, and they were size 25, but it had a few things carrying it, and the Y leg is very trendy right now. Well, it's more of a bell bottom, but anyway. Up next on the 2nd on eBay, I have this Y2K tank top. I got this in Florida when I was on a work trip, and I had a bunch of time to kill. I paid $2 for it. On eBay, it sold for $28.82. I took home $16.78. And I listed this one at the end of March. Yeah, this one was like a week. It sold in a week again. So that's really great. This one had so many things going for it. Okay, sequins are coming back. I don't know why. I think that's like People are saying like we may be exiting Y2K and we're starting to get into the 2010s. Today at the bins, I don't know why I said this to someone. So there were these two girls. Honestly, they were probably in their early 20s. I'm 29. But they were like all about the Y2K stuff. And I had a pair of like Y2K Abercrombie jeans. Like honestly, they were pretty like they had a bunch of holes in them, and not in like the cute way, in the like really ripped way. But if you know what I'm talking about, they had the old back pocket. Um, and they had a stain on them, so I didn't get them. But I asked these girls, like, "Oh, would either of you be interested in these pants?" And the way they like shaded me with their eyes, I was like, I'm embarrassed. And then I was just continuing to go through my cart, and I had a pair of Miss Me jeans, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, are those Miss Me jeans?" And the thing that I said, which I was like, this is unnecessary for me to say that. I was like, yeah, they are, aren't they super cute? I used to wear these when I was in high school. They didn't need to know that because like I'm just dating myself. I just felt really old. And after that, I was like, Krista, shut up. Shut up. I thought, like, back in my hometown in Wisconsin, a lot of people still wear those jeans and not in an ironic way. So I didn't know that the Y2K girlies may be wearing bedazzled Miss Me in an ironic way. So there's a market out there for non ironic and ironic, I guess. But anyway, back to the tank top. It was sheer, it was sequined, it had like a crisscross pattern to it, it had lace trim. I put in their whimsy goth as well. I was not surprised, that this sold super well. It didn't take that long. This is my other Depop sale on the second, and I'm surprised this took so long to sell because it's also a Y2K dream. And it's funny because the girl that put on Depop, she messaged me. She was so sweet. She was like, "This is the most beautiful dress." And I was like, I know, right? So I listed this last August. And the thing is, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have picked that up. I would pick this dress up again. I think what was going against it is that I listed it at the end of summer. Not that I really think August 6th is the end of summer, but still. So I sold it on Depop for $23, and I ended up taking home $19.53. And this one, it had just a bunch of stuff going to it. Let me enlarge one of the pictures so I can see. Like the tie dye, the asymmetrical, it had some beading on it. And this was dress barn. I very obviously did not put dress barn in the title, because that's like a mature women's brand. But this, I believe, was straight up from the 90s. Next, I came upon a woman's plus size Eileen Fisher donation. It was a beautiful day to be alive. So this is an Eileen Fisher Irish linen skirt. I don't know, and you guys can comment if you do know. It said Irish linen. I know sometimes like Irish wool or things like that go for more. I don't know if Irish linen is more desirable, and I tried to look it up and I didn't know. This was a very simple A-line linen skirt. It was so beautiful. I put in their legging look, cottagecore. It was a 1X. It sold on Poshmark the day after I listed it. I think this may even been I cross-listed it to Poshmark and it sold that day. Offered a watcher. This is my first sale on the 3rd. It sold for $37 and I took home $27.60. That was great. I love selling Eileen Fisher plus size. I do pick up Eileen Fisher in any size. It sells eventually. You just have to price it for lower. Like, don't price it for $50 if it has a terrible sell-through rate. Like, think about it. Next, we have on eBay, this is also a sale on the 3rd. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren quarter zip pullover. It's in a sale 5XB, which is 5 extra big. It's 100% cotton. I love selling Polo Ralph Lauren and men's larger sizes. I think I took an offer for this one on eBay. I picked up, this is another thing where I got someone's like whole collection and I got 4 different pieces in red in this size. So I listed it on the 1st. It sold on the 3rd for, with shipping, it was $30.24. I took home $15.98. Next, we have this Lululemon On the Fly jacket. The one thing about this one is it did have like 2 places where the stitches was coming loose, but it was very, very minor. I listed this one, oh wow, not that long ago, at the beginning of February. And I sold it on eBay for $32.14, and I made $15.80, which was great. Lululemon jackets, most of them actually don't sell that well for me. Specifically, I have issues with windbreakers, and I don't know what's up with that. A lot of people have Lululemon priced so high, and I think it's just from the days of like when I got into reselling, Lululemon was already losing its value. And this one, that was another thing where I sold it for like 30 bucks and everyone else had it listed for like 60. And it still took like 2 months to sell. And so it's just like you really have to see what the market is. And I get that you used to be able to get $50 for it, but unfortunately, that time is over. And that's what I say to myself every time I find like J Jill or old Athleta. I have like a not ideal size in J Jill and old Tig Athleta. They left some of those pieces at the bins today, and it just like pained me on the inside because they're still really nice pieces, but they're not gonna move. And I know at least for the Athleta pieces, they were like sweatshirts and stuff, and so I wasn't gonna keep them till Turnstile took them in the fall. It hurt my heart. It hurt my heart a lot. Okay, so this is our first and only Mercari sale for the week on the 3rd. I sold this Soma and Bliss bralette for $16. This one was super soft, wireless. Ooh, this would have been a comfy dream. I should try it out. It was medium. Anyway, I had this listed at the beginning of March, sold on the 3rd. I took home $11.87. Our last thing in this what sold is a men's Lululemon shorts. They're the Pace Breaker linerless short and 5 inches. The shorter inseams in Lululemon are trendier. I had this listed at the end of March. Oh my gosh, this one sold like just over a week too. This was a coveted Lululemon piece. Some of their men's items, specifically men's shorts, women's shorts sell really well too. I think I have this listed for $32. But anyway, this sold for $39.61 with shipping. I took home $27.07. That is a Lululemon sale that I am talking about. All right, so close the laptop. Let's pop on into doing the ship with me portion. I have a handful of pieces. We back. Okay, so we have a handful of sales to do. I'm losing my sunlight, so my apologies that it's gotten dark a little bit. To start off, we have a bundle of 3 Kendra Scott earrings, which is kind of crazy to me. This is the first time I've had someone buy, I'm literally cutting like extra bubble wrap that I had around the house. This is the first time I've had anyone bundle the Kendra Scott earrings, and so I was really surprised by this. I don't know why in my head I'm just like picturing that she bought it for her friends. This seems like a really nice thing to do. I'm like, oh, that'd be a fun bridesmaid's gift. Like, you know, it's just such a cool concept. So I thought that was really awesome. Reusing shipping supplies and things like that. I'm dwindling. I think I said it before, but my Kendra Scott sales are dwindling because I don't have that many left. I have like a few pieces that haven't sold at all, but it seems like they're going really fast now. So I almost wonder if Kendra Scott is slightly seasonal. Because I didn't sell any right away. I do have, maybe it's because those listings are promoted on eBay. Honestly, that could be it. Move my labels up here. Also, I don't know if anyone else noticed this. eBay's, maybe I bought different ones. eBay's mailers, I swear, well, no, I know they were compostable before, but these are recyclable ones. So I don't know if I just bought a different kind, but I really like the compostable ones. As per usual, there is no trash can next to me. I'd like to go rogue. I have to clean my office after this, so I'm just setting myself up for that. Ah! I stepped on bubble wrap. This is a Spanx hoodie. Oh, it's so soft. It's in like new condition. It's a size large. This one had bad comps on eBay, and I actually remember being at the bins and I was like, I don't think that's spotting. I panicked for a second. Being like, Krista, don't pick this up. It has bad comps. But I feel like Spanx sells better on Poshmark. I don't know. I'm trying to be better about checking Poshmark comps. If I have a hunch, it may not be an eBay item. And yeah, it sold after a few days. So this one was a sale on the 4th. So this was on Friday. It's in great condition. If I hadn't have listed this one, I was going to, I need to move that bubble wrap because it keeps stepping on it. I was going to take it to buy, sell, trade, but very happy it sold. If you sell things on Poshmark, you know what? I just got new mailers from the post office and these feel thinner. Everyone's getting cheap these days. They're feeling the economy. I get it. I totally get it. Up next, we have a Lululemon short sleeve. Where's the logo? This is also in a really good quality. You can't see this from here, but anyway, this sold on eBay. I had this listed way too high to start with. This is an eBay sale on the 5th. It has these super wide armholes. I was just really intrigued by this shirt. It's in excellent condition. I had this listed way too high to start with. Like 30 something. I don't know what I was on. I think it's a more modern style. If you're looking for, if you're trying to find, I find that with Lululemon, finding the name of the piece is very important. If you are, I don't know what size this was. I did size for measurements, but what is it? Lulu Fanatics. Check out Lulu Fanatics. So a lot of times to get the name of the shirt, I'll either do a Google image or I will check Lulu Fanatics, and I know I got that one on Lulu Fanatics. So that one sold for $15. I got it at the bins. There are very few things that I would pick up Lulu at a regular Goodwill or thrift store. So I made $10.23. I think I have, actually, no, I didn't have this one this long. Maybe February, and I don't know. Up next, we have another pair of Kendra Scott earrings. I have to craft again. Let's cut some more out. This one sold on eBay. And I wonder if in this style, I paid for shipping. It sold for $21.17. And I made $9.17. When I got these at Opitz, it was I didn't get these at Opitz, it's a lie. There's a store in the Twin Cities called Discount 70. I was at the checkout one day, and this was like right after Christmas. I looked like a mad woman because, granted, I wish I grabbed literally every single pair they had, but it was like we were in the checkout line. I had seconds to decide. And I stood there at like the jewelry kiosk and I was like, I'm going to take everything. I didn't take everything, but I took a lot of things and I spent like over $200 in Kendra Scott jewelry. I definitely have made my money back, like, and profit. I've been really thinking about doing a video for that. This one's eBay. It's been one of the eBay mailers. But I'm really happy with my profit. That was a gamble. And like I listed all of them in one day. And I don't think I got my first sale for a week. And I was like, I listed like 30 or 40. I think I picked up 40 actually. And I was like, what have I done? But I'm really glad that I've made a profit. Up next, we have some Quince pants. These did not have good comps. They sold on Poshmark. Well, not bad comps. Quince doesn't retail for a lot. It's high quality, but cheaper price because they're a direct like factory to market type thing, or words, factory to consumer, I believe. That's what it is. I want to say in like 2024, they were Poshmark's like best like at keeping their retail value, which is really great. I mean, there's not that many brands that keep their value that well. If I had to guess, those pants were like $50 or $60. I don't think they were 100% cotton. Just a nice relaxed pant. But they sold on Poshmark on the 5th for $17. That would have been an offer to Laker. I would have had it listed for $22. I took home $12.60. I think that this is like the 5th or 6th Quince piece I've sold. I've sold their cashmere sweater a few times. Not everything sells that well, but I've been able to sell it all like within a few weeks, which I love. Coming up on a few left. Y'all, I'm so excited. I sold one of the Hermes ties. Yay! There's a logo on it, and it says that was so fast you can't see it. Hermes. Oh wait, I was backwards. Hermes. This one sold on eBay. It's an international sale. I found this at the bins. Check the ties. Check the ties. But anyway, this one's an international sale, so it's not coming back to me. I might run out of paper though. Check ties at the bins. This is the second Hermes tie I've sold. I actually didn't have this one listed for long. This one sold before the other one. It sold for, and this is before shipping. It sold for $50.92. I want to say this was an offer to watch or something. So I took home, and I had this as $2 listed as my cost of goods. It's way less than that. I took home $38.23. I mean, phenomenal. 10 out of 10. I'm very, very happy with that. I would be happy to find Hermes anytime. So that one was a great one. I did have the other Hermes tie. I think it was listed too high. So I did recently lower the price on that one. Which also, if you sell on eBay and you're not doing their international shipping program yet, you should, to be honest. You don't have to do any of the legwork. This one's going to, how they do it is you ship everything to one of their locations, depending on where it's going to in the US, and they mail it from there. And so this one's going to their Illinois location. I feel like I've had another one in like Pennsylvania. There's another one where I've seen their address on it. And they just ship it from there. And with the international program, they can't return the item. So if you accept returns, that's really, really nice. Up next, we have a Bowden swimsuit. This one did not go for very much. This is my second to last of the Bowden swimsuits. I had like 6 of them. This is supposed to be a halter. This one actually only sold, this one sold on eBay for $18.90. What's different about this one and why I listed longer, you won't be able to see it, but there's some sun fading on the straps. This is a well-loved swimsuit. It also doesn't have the tag in it. But this Bowden swimsuits are really good quality. I say Bowden has slowed down, but I have really good luck with their swimsuits. It's one of my favorite swimsuit brands to pick up. It's very good quality. There's some boning in the sides. They have that sticky strip here to help it stay up. So even though this one wasn't in phenomenal quality, I still sold it for $18, which I know isn't everyone's cup of tea. It also sold for less simply because I didn't didn't have the size tag in it, but I picked up so many that day, like 6 of them, and a lot of them didn't have the size tag, but that one did. So I'm really happy to see this one go. It was my last of that pattern. I have one solid one left, so I would say their pattern ones definitely, or their like striped classic ones look better. But yeah, I just have a plain one, and that one hasn't moved. I actually haven't. It's ruched. It's a V-neck. It's a very classic, like slightly more conservative swimsuit. I probably have that one listed higher. That might be why it hasn't sold yet. But yeah, so I had this $2 into this one. I made $11.79, which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. We got 2 left. It wouldn't be a ship with me or what's sold if I didn't sell a bra. So this is, I did a haul where I found like 6 or 8 bras and what, no, it was like 8. This is a Body by Victoria line perfect coverage 38D double D. It has some nice like trim lace on the side. You know, I've made so much money off these bras. I bet you I've made $100 already. I'm not going to do the math because I'm lazy, but bigger size, the full coverage ones are great. Start with those. If you're a little nervous to be selling bras, I want to do a deep dive in bras that sell a lot. I'm going to try not to talk over me scrunching this. But if you, I've been thinking about doing a deep dive. There are some bra brands that sell for a really good amount of money. I'd say Honeylove is probably the leader that I know of that I've found a few times. I find Victoria's Secret all the time. That's why it's one of my bread and butters. I also like finding Soma. Soma does normally sell a little bit higher than Victoria's Secret. But yeah, I want to do a deep dive. I'm trying to think of what other bra brands I've sold. I've sold Wacoal, Natori. I'm probably gonna stop picking up Natori because I don't get that much money for it. But it's a good seller. So this one sold for my full price asking price of $16.90. I made $11.59. So happy with that. I found it at the bins. If you find these at the bins, even some sizes, knowing that I wouldn't make that much, I would still pay the $4.99, which is kind of standard Goodwill pricing for bras, which is high. That's just a personal hot take from me. It's funny because if I only have like a half hour to go into a Goodwill, I check out the bras and intimate section because I feel like a lot of people don't look there. And so I'll always be checking out with like one item and it's going to be like lingerie. And it's not for me. It just sells really well. So I do the rest of the stuff. Our last item is going to be another Kendra Scott pair of earrings. This is the same pair as the one before. These are so pretty. I didn't pick up all of these. I should have. Famous last words. I sold these on Poshmark. So going back to my discount 70 story, the day I went, it was 50% off because they were like clearing out the whole store. Actually, I don't think I've been back there since then. Sometimes I have amazing luck and sometimes it's a dud and it's kind of far from my house, so I don't go very often. But they had 50% off. And so if these would not have been 50% off, it wouldn't have made any sense to buy them. But because they were, I grabbed a bunch of them and here we are today. So this one was a Poshmark sale. It sold for $25. This is one of my favorite boxes from the post office. Is that sad that I'm like, I have a favorite box from the post office? It's funny because I see a lot of resellers talking about the boxes that they use. And it's funny because I think so you can order them from the USPS website. And I do that now. I didn't do that before. I used to just grab from my post office. And then I felt bad because I would just come in and grab like a bunch of things, and I didn't want to like lower their stock, and you can get it to your house like free with your mail delivery. But anyway, the only reason, like, look how tiny this is in this box. The only reason I bring that up is because there's like a 7x7 box, and it's like square. And I got something in that box, and I'd never seen the box before. And it's like perfect for a bra to go in, because a lot of times I put them in the tie back things, and I think they'll get smushed. And so I ordered them because I was like, these would be perfect for bras. Clearly, I stand very strong on my bra stance. But anyway, thank you guys for coming along with me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this ship with me and what sold. I'll possibly do videos like this in the end. I'm trying to just see what people like. So if there's any content that you'd like to see from me, I'm having a lot of fun with my YouTube channel. And it's just a really good creative outlet. So if you like this video, feel free to physically give it a like, which shows the YouTube algorithm that you're interested in more content like mine, and it boosts my videos in the algorithm. And give it a subscribe so you can come back next time. But I really appreciate you guys coming. See you later. Bye.